tennis players and their support staff are able to travel quite freely as part of a biosecurity bubble without the need for any sort of quarantine. And there are discussions ongoing as to why something similar can't take place here in Australia. Of course, the Australian Open isn't the only major event here in Melbourne. There's also the Grand Prix down at Albert Park, which is scheduled for November this year, of course, after it was cancelled last year and postponed from early this year. There's some logistical problems there in that the Brazil Grand Prix is due to take place 2 weeks before the Australian Grand Prix, meaning drivers who race in Brazil will be unable to complete 2 weeks of quarantine before racing in Melbourne. And so organisers of the F1 here in Australia are discussing the potential for a travel bubble for these drivers and support staff so they don't need those 2 weeks of quarantine on Australian soil. There's also the possibility being discussed of 2 back-to-back Grand Prix events being held in Melbourne, with the Brazilian events cancelled, but that is something organisers here are not particularly keen for. So, Pete, there are 2 big events organisers here in Australia pushing for international borders to be opened as soon as possible.